Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Deadball Specialists. This week we'll be looking at the Prem results as ever. We'll be looking at the Super League and the news that Mourinho has lost his job. We'll have some call-ins and we'll also be looking at the predictions for next week. Now, this week's episode is titled Super League of Greed. I think it's pretty self-serving, that name, as to why it's called that. But without much further ado, let's just jump straight into the Premier League results, because I think we've got a lot to talk about with the Super League and Mourinho. I think we've both got a lot to say on it. So let's just jump in with the Prem first of all. Now we're going to look at the Arsenal-Fulham game. Having a look at our predictions, we both had the same predictions, which was a 2-1 Arsenal victory. Clearly both of us were wrong with the 1-1 result. So I'm going to let you jump into that, Ahmed, mate. How did you find that game? Obviously being an Arsenal fan, I think we saw it very differently. So keen to get your insight.
Yeah, so I think last week we talked about how close it would be. We didn't think Arsenal were going to steamroll Fulham at all, but we did think it was going to be close, but we both did think it was going to be an Arsenal win. Fulham weren't that great, but Arsenal were nothing short of disgraceful. That was, if going away to Prague was one of their best performances of the season, or probably one of their best under Arteta, that was one of their worst. No invention, no incisiveness. I mean, El Neni, I think, only had 5 options ahead of him and went backwards. Denilson style. It was just so bad to watch. It definitely wasn't a penalty. I don't think it was a penalty. And it was marginal offside too. That could have gone either way. But for me, it wasn't a penalty. For me, that was a dive. I couldn't see any contact.
There wasn't. I think it was a bit of a dive too, personally.
Yeah, it was a dive. I looked very closely for contact on his toe. I couldn't see it. But it's not enough for him to kind of go over like that. Definitely wasn't a penalty. No. We were a bit unlucky as well. I know it's the rules, but Saka's big toe was offside, mate. And our goal.
I mean, we've been, as a Liverpool fan, we've been stung with that several times this year of armpits being offside, and I think VAR has got the offside to that degree completely wrong. I like the daylight rule that they use in Holland. It makes a lot more sense. What I will say, though, is Fulham's defending was resolute that game, was really resolute. For 35 minutes, they led that game. And really, I felt for them losing it, I think. I really felt for them.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think they deserve to win the game.
No, I agree. I don't think they did.
No, I think probably a draw was a fair result because they were both kind of poor. I did feel that Fulham defended relatively well.
They did,
but it would have been. I think it would have been good for Fulham to win that game to keep the excitement up.
Well, this was going to be my point, right? So I think with Burnley, highly likely, I think later in the day we're going to lose the game to Man United anyway. I know we'll come into that game later, and that's exactly what happened. Obviously, we'll get into that more in depth. But with that being the case, I think for me, if Fulham win that game 1-0, Burnley are now in trouble. Newcastle is finding their way out of trouble. Fulham would have someone they could catch, and that would have been Burnley. And just one victory against Arsenal would really turn you fortunate. At least mentally and psychologically, the impact of beating an Arsenal team at your ground is massive for a team like Fulham. I think with 7 games left, it will give them a big boost. I thought, really, the pressure was building with Arsenal when you scored your equaliser. It was for the last 10, 15 minutes. You were just kept going. You weren't creating many clear things, but the ball was all Arsenal's, and you were just in that motion of holding the bird in the final third without creating too much.
Yeah.
But, I think the last week has summed up Arsenal's season this whole year is go to the Europa League, make a brilliant stand against racism, Lacazette being at the forefront of that. And that was fantastic, by the way. Really brilliant to see. And I know we've questioned the merit of taking kneels, but I think in that incident, that was absolutely brilliant. And I love to see it. It was really put a smile on my face. And then to score 2 goals and just turn out a 4-0 performance and just show them, actually, look, this is who we are. We're in the club in development. We're a good side. And we've got potential to then come to Fulham and just seem like you can't be bothered. And it wasn't really clicking. It summed up Arsenal's whole season for me. It's 1 week of there's something there that's building to what the hell is going on again.
Honestly, I agree with you. It felt like a pre-season game. It felt like one of those Emirates Cups games that you go to in the summer, and it felt like a pre-season friendly. it was just so lackluster. I don't know, maybe because the sun was shining. I don't know. Maybe because it was slightly warm on Sunday. So I thought, let's just stroll in the park, you know?
And
Or
because lockdowns lifted and they were all in the
yeah,
pubs. Who
lockdowns
knows?
lifted. Exactly, man. They're probably all hungover or something. No, I was not happy with that performance. But again, that's Arteta for you. I kind of blame him for that because he dropped Pepe. I think who was playing? I think it's like played Shaka at left back.
Yeah.
Put Cedric
Saka.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, put Cedric at left back. He's a fullback.
He's a
He's filled it
fullback, yeah.
exactly. So yeah, just lackluster, boring, no imagination, no invention. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know why anyone would go to watch that if we're ever allowed back in stadiums again.
Well, yeah, it was poor all round. Should we move on to the Liverpool game, which is
Yes.
just finished? Now, Liverpool, we dominated the first half and we went 1-0 up, deservedly so. Trent, again, wonderful touch for Mane to score an open goal. Jota, it was a lovely move, actually, I thought. Jota's pass to Trent to Mane with an easy finish. But we started the second half brightly too, and then next thing you know, we just dropped off the point a little bit. Leeds started coming back into the game, managed to claw out an equaliser from a corner, and really, it was really a massive chance for Liverpool this weekend to go to grab that top four race a little bit. Because if you think about it, a 1-0 win would have been ideal with the way the West Ham result went, the way the Arsenal result went, the way the Spurs and Everton result went. Everyone around us has faltered. Every single team has faltered. And this was our chance today to actually slip into the back door, get into that top four spaces. And I know I've said, I don't think we'll do it. And I've said that from day one on this podcast. And I think these kind of results are the reason that I don't think we'll do it. It's everybody's faltered around you. Go ahead and win a game. Leeds have got nothing to play for. They're playing okay, but they're not in the best run of form right now. We have picked up a bit of form, although the Real game was 0-0. I thought we created enough chances to win that game the week before we won. So I think we were showing that there was something that was building again, which was really, really positive for us. But what happens again? One bit of slack defending. No Nat Phillips in the back. Fabinho played at the back four. Again, I don't know. I think maybe Nat Phillips was injured. I think Nat Phillips was injured, yeah. And the goal come from a header from a corner. And really, since he's been in the back four, he's dominated the box for all things aerial. He's been very, very good. That's been his real strong point. So that's exactly why I don't think we should finish top four. For me, should have gone on and won that game. I think probably the Super League news is affecting everybody right now, the players, the fans, the manager, because, it was out of their hands, but we'll come to that shortly anyway. How did you find the game? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the whole Super League news is like my head's gone basically. And I was saying to you, like, I try to kind of watch the game and try to have like a stake in it, I'm thinking top four for you. We're at a tussle with Leeds now for like who's going to finish in the top half. Look how far we've fallen. But like, I don't know. I just found it very hard to invest in it, and I found it hard to care because none of it's going to matter anyway in a few months. But I mean, we'll come on to that. I thought Liverpool's goal was great move, great ball by Trent. I do feel it was a keeper's mistake though. He shouldn't have rushed out like that.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if he stayed on his line, he probably would not score. But but for me, one of the biggest kind of criminal acts in football is to concede a header in your 6-yard box. That is just unacceptable. You cannot concede a header from a corner in your 6-yard box, especially that late in the game. That is so. Yeah, I mean, if I was a coach, I'd be like, look, extra sessions coming in tomorrow, double training. I'm not having that. And everyone, by the way, because Firmino leapt up with Llorente and I forget who's Kabak as well, who leapt up with him.
Kabak was there, yeah.
You should be all day long getting rid of that. If it's, do you remember Drogba's header against Bayern Munich in the Champions League final, 2012?
Yes, I do. Yes.
That was a last-minute one, right? That was one of the best, probably the best header I've ever seen. There's no stopping that. Because he came out and...
Can I just say, I think Robin van Persie's header for Holland national team was better, but sure.
That's up there.
You forgot about that.
I'd say Drogba's goal meant more.
Yeah, but yeah, potentially. Yeah.
And it was a bigger goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like headers like that you can't legislate for. But that again, Llorente, no good. That is just really shocking.
It wasn't the best ball in the world. It was just a normal ball into the 6 yard line. Just clear your lines. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just get rid. I mean, keeper should be first things first. Keeper should be clearing everyone out. His own player,
Right.
Llorente, just clear out. Jens Lehmann style. Just doesn't matter if you punch the ball or your player in the face. You're going to get everyone and just clear everyone out. That's what you should be doing. But yeah, that was a huge mistake and a big opportunity loss for Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's just that. I think that's the top four done for us personally. I think that was chance. Everyone slipped up because the next game we're going to look at is the Newcastle West Ham game, and this was a massive game in so many regards. I mean, I totally agree with you that I think the shine has gone off.
Sorry, what was our prediction for the
Newcastle West Ham game?
Well, the Liverpool Leeds game as well, I think.
The Liverpool Leeds game, you said 1-1, so you got that spot on.
Okay, cool.
I said 2-1 Liverpool, so I was off there. Okay. So you got that one correct.
Cool.
For the Newcastle West Ham, we both said West Ham wins. You said 3-0. I said 3-1.
Really?
So we were both wrong. Because it was a 3-2 victory to Newcastle. Now, let me just say a few points. The first thing is, like I said, it was a massive game, and the reason for this is because West Ham's top four hopes were given a bit of a kick in today because losing to Newcastle means that the door is open for teams like Liverpool who didn't take the chance. Teams like Everton and Spurs, neither of whom took the chance either. So Chelsea as well. I mean, Chelsea, I think are pretty much going to. I think Chelsea are going to do it anyway. Leicester, like you said a while back, are the ones that could be the ones to drop out of it.
I think,
and that looks like it could be the case. I mean, I know they didn't play this week due to the FA Cup, and they're in the final of the FA Cup now, which is fantastic, and it's really, really good to see, in all honesty. And I hope they beat Chelsea. But looking at this, obviously Dawson getting sent off was a big impact on West Ham. But the first three goals were comical in my eyes. They didn't really feel like good goals. It was just clumsy defending, ricocheting off people, or a bad, bad control, bad touch. It just
Sunday.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the first three goals. Really, only the penalty was a good hit, and one of Newcastle's goals was okay. But West Ham battled back really, really well. I think Joe Willock, the Arsenal super sub, coming up trumps for Newcastle, which is great. And I think Newcastle was safe. I said it for a while, and I think this helped that really, really, really a lot too. So for me, Dawson getting sent off massively impacted the game. It wasn't the best game of all time, in all honesty. It was a lot of goals, but they were comical goals for the first few anyway. And I guess it was just one of those games, I think, which was really, really important for Newcastle, and I'm glad that they went on to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think the quality was the best, but I had like a real stake in it because it had an impact to, towards the top of the table and towards the bottom of the table. So there was, as a neutral, there's interest for me there. 3-2, I mean, the West Ham came back 2-2, looking like they were going to go on and win it. So I found it really exciting, especially towards the end. And Joe Willock, what a goal, by the way, like arriving late in the box. Yeah. Great header. That's Ramsey-esque, by the way. Like that timing is Ramsey-esque.
Okay.
And I'll tell you something. I would much rather he's in the middle of our park instead of Ceballos or Elneny. Damn sure. At least he offers more.
He does offer more, yeah. But I like Ceballos. I know you don't.
He's a charlatan. He's no good. If he was any good, he'd be at Madrid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or somewhere else even.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
Okay, let's move on to the Man United Burnley game. I predicted 2-0 United. You predicted a 3-0 United win there. It was 3-1 to Man United. Now, that game, Man United just dominated start to finish. I don't think Burnley were really in it at all. Man United rather, sorry, scored, and then all of a sudden, Burnley out of nowhere got a really, really fast reply. I was really shocked when I went in, and I did think, oh, will this hopefully change the tide of this game? But it
Mhm.
didn't really. Man United just carried on the same ball,
Yeah.
and just put another 2 goals away. Cavani, Mason Greenwood, who I think season's been a bit up and down, fluctuate a little bit. He's a very good player. He's broke a
Mhm.
few rules and been a bit of a naughty boy. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's
Okay.
why I think that's why his seasons fluctuate a little bit, in all
Yeah.
honesty. But he's a good player. I think the one thing I'll say, and I know Man United look like a goal machine again, and I said that in the pod last week. I think the big thing for me is that although Man United do look a lot more attacking, I think Ollie's lack of tactical nous will play play dividends in the bigger games when he plays people like Klopp and um, Pep and other, and Pochettino, like good managers with good ideas. That is when Ollie will fall down. So whilst Man United do look like a lot better team and they're scoring more goals, they look happier and they're more of an attacking threat, I do think they'll never really push to win things with Ollie because his tactical or lack of tactical nous will let him down last minute, I
Say
think.
that, but he went to the Etihad and won. He came to the Emirates and got a draw. Um, he went to Spurs and won. So his record against the top six is actually very, very good this season. So
That is true, but he's not won anything yet. If he wins the Europa League, this is a good year. Finishing second and winning the Europa is a very good league, very
that's
good year
impressive.
for Man.
I like it for United.
I agree. Yeah, I think so too. And I think
Um,
it will be seen as a successful season if that is the case.
mhm.
But I do think in the bigger competitions, in the bigger moments, I think that's when he'll get found out.
I kind of do agree with you on that, but it's just a bit weird how this season he's done really, really well against the top six and been quite tactically quite sound and set his teams up pretty well. Yeah, I thought United were good value for the win. I thought they were always going to win. Never thought Burnley were in it at all. Played quite well, but they didn't really have to break a sweat. Never really got out of second gear. And Mason Greenwood, I mean, if this kid could stop smoking, not inhaling balloons in the
Yeah.
back of a Jeep with some random birds around Manchester, he could actually come. He will actually go on to be a decent player. But I don't know. I think he's too much about that life, for him to kind of knuckle down and I
He's a,
mean to be.
he's a young boy. Let's not forget, like he's just a young lad, just coming of age. Like what young lad aren't doing things like these at that age?
Gabby Martinelli spends 6 days a week on a training field, and he spends all of Sunday in church. So
Okay, so he's got no life. So what?
yes, football is his life.
But yeah,
So when
but
Gabby
that's
Martinelli
fine.
goes on to win the biggest honors, obviously not at Arsenal, when he goes to a proper club and wins stuff, that will be why. And Mason Greenwood will end up like Ravel Morrison.
I don't think there's going to be that two extreme cases.
They're exaggerating.
There is a middle ground there where you can be successful and like a drink from time to time. Mate, there's a lot of players that do it.
Mason Greenwood will be at West Ham within 6 years. Within 6 years.
Ooh, okay, that's a massive shout. Within 6 years,
Yeah.
he's going to West Ham. Jesse
Yeah.
Lingard style, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, exactly. He's gonna rediscover his form, and he's gonna do bits for West Ham
Okay, we'll see.
or Everton. I don't know.
Well, let's move on to the Wolves Sheffield United game. I mean, you said 1-0 Wolves. Again, another prediction. You've had a very, very strong week this week for
Tell you
predictions,
what,
I
I need to
must
start
say.
putting money on this.
You got three right.
Money on this.
I said 0-0. You said 1-0 Wolves.
Okay.
It was not an exciting game. Very, very boring.
Oh,
I don't know how much to say. Adama Traore with an assist, though.
yeah.
Let me just give you
You're
his
knocking
round.
him.
Yeah, I still knock him out. I still think he's terrible. But let me just give you his stats for this year. It's 1 goal and 2 assists in 31 games in the Premier League. So, I mean, for a man who's got amazing play, that is terrible output.
Still better than Willian. I'll tell you that. Still better than Willian.
Willian's got like 4 or 5 assists this year.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, he got 2 in the opening day, and I think
He's got about 4 or 5 assists.
4. Okay, cool. You remember any of them?
Not really, but he has got them.
Exactly. That's how memorable.
They don't have to be memorable. They all count, right? So
Yeah.
this is the thing. Adama should be getting more than 3 in 31 games. If Willian, the guy who you hate, take the mick out of, is a lot older guy than Adama as well. If he can get 4 assists.
To be fair, Willian has Pepe, Laka, Oba, Saka, Smith Rowe to feed into. Wolves have lost their main guy. They lost Jota in the summer. They lost Jimenez.
Yeah, but they got Podence, they got Neto. They have got players around still.
Neto's out injured too.
He is just now, but he has been fit all year.
So at the moment,
Adama should be stepping up too. He's the guy. He should be the guy, shouldn't he?
Listen, I'm not saying he's he's like the next Messi or anything like that, but I don't know. I think he offers something.
I agree he offers something. I think we were arguing a different point here. I like the guy and I think he does offer something. My issue is that I think his numbers are terrible. I think his output is terrible. I think he should have a lot more for the ability and potential he has. He should be 10 times the player he currently is my point.
That's
it's more of a frustration thing with him because I think he's got so much talent and he's too busy baby oiling his arms to give a shit, mate. It's not good enough in my eyes.
Well, listen, I mean, he's keeping the baby oil industry afloat,
Well, yeah.
Someone has to. When was the last time you bought baby oil? I mean...
I would have had a baby.
Even people who have babies don't buy baby oil. They buy lotion.
Yeah, well, fine. All right, well, let's look at the Everton Spurs game, right? Unless you've got anything to add to the Wolves Sheffield United game, because
absolutely not. I mean, Sheffield United are relegated now.
Officially relegated. You're correct. Yeah.
Officially relegated. Did not see that coming after their brilliant season last season.
I thought you meant this year. I thought you were going to say
no,
you didn't see them getting relegated after 31 games in.
I for one am shocked at Sheffield.
Yeah.
No. I mean, after last season, how great they were, did not expect it to be this bad this season. So I was like, wow.
No,
so it just has me thinking who could be the next team that looks really good now and could be in a relegation scrap next season. Don't say us because we don't look good now anyway. So a team that actually has to be playing well to be in that category. So yeah,
Leeds could be that club.
Leeds easily. Yeah.
Okay, Everton Spurs, and then that will kind of timely lead us on to the Mourinho departure as well. So a good game. I think overall Everton were the better team for me, and I thought they actually would have deserved. If they walked away winners of that game, it would have been deserved. It was a nice finish from Kane as ever, but man's got glass ankles. What I find really funny is that in the commentary, Jamie Redknapp said, you don't expect Harry Kane to get injured. And I almost started crying with laughter on the spot because I thought, this guy is injured every week. He's injured. Yeah. It's like, but we're not here to slam other presenters.
I'm here to slam Karen.
But Redknapp, it was Redknapp. It was Jamie
Redknapp. Okay.
Redknapp.
Okay, not surprised.
He's an idiot. But I think Everton threw away their top 4 chance there. I think they were... if they won that game, they would have been, I think, only 1 point behind us with the game in hand to then really, really compete. But now they are 3 points behind with a game in hand. So, and worse goal difference. So they're throwing that way in my eyes. Spurs again, top 4 over for them. I really, really like Gylfi Sigurdsson's goal. Not the penalty, but the finish was beautiful.
That left foot, just slice.
It's class.
Open up the body. Yeah, I think Ozil's first goal for us against Napoli in the Champions League was very similar. Player cutting in like Coleman, cutting in from the right, opens up his body, lift up the leg, side foot.
Yeah.
Like that is such a hard technique to do. Like have you ever tried doing that on the
many times?
Many times. Yeah. Well, and where does it go? Like I don't know about you, but mine.
Top bins, but no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Normally, it goes out for throwing like most times, but or I just missed the ball. No.
So it's such a hard technique to do. So when I saw that goal, I really did appreciate it. Brilliant goal. Both of Spurs' goals came from mistakes.
They were.
What are you doing? It's just like clear your lines, man.
Yeah,
Good
it kind of.
finishing.
The thing is, though, that goal was kind of. There's two players there, and one went to header it. It kind of went off and rolled down his back. It was such a weird sequence of play. It was really, really unusual.
I mean, I don't know how you can legislate against that as a manager. It's just so frustrating. Yeah, Everton were good value for the win. They should have won it, but yeah, I think Spurs nicked a point there.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. They really, really did. And I think they then went ahead and sacked Jose Mourinho. Now,
Once again, the sacked
one. So, I will say this: the timing is ridiculous in my eyes. Absolutely stupid.
Now that we know what we know, yes. I mean, even if we didn't, I would say the League Cup final is on Sunday. Is Sunday,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So why would you sack him before that?
Like, how many games left to go for the top four? Like 7?
6, 7. Yeah.
Come on, makes no sense. Just see out the season.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. The other thing was that I think that's part of the reason they sacked him before the cup final, because I think, look, you've got a very, very unhappy squad right there under Mourinho. You've got Son was crying after a game. When do you ever see Son crying? No, he's not. He's a very, very happy guy. You don't really see him. He was in tears after the game because of Mourinho.
Oh, what game? The Everton game?
The game previous to that. And also, he refused to... against United. And he refused to shake Mourinho's hand after that game. Harry Kane wants to leave. There's a lot of turmoil over there right now. So I think, knowing Levy, what he's done there is he said, I'm going to sack you. If I sack you after you win the cup, you're going to walk away and say, well, I won the cup there, so of course I was successful in my time. But if I deny you that opportunity, what can you do? He still gets a £20 million payoff. He's laughing. So,
Mourinho could fund the Super League with his sacking payoffs alone.
Yeah, he probably could.
The amount of money that this man has made from sacking payoffs, like that's his business model. Go in, disrupt a club, poison it, root to stem, and then refuse to resign. Wait till he gets sacked, collects his 15, 20 million quid, on to the next one. You know, that's his MO. So I'm not surprised. And do you know, I'm kind of, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but I can see why Levy did that, because he's thinking, I'm not going to let you take the credit for a trophy, because I brought you in here to kind of win Premier Leagues and Europa Leagues and get far in the Champions League, win even the FA Cup. The last trophy Spurs won was in 2008, and that was the League Cup. Before that, it was 91, and that was the FA Cup. So, you know, he was brought in to bring success, and he's not done that. So Levy's got rid of him. But I still think.
But he's not even had a year.
No, he's been there. He was appointed around November 2019. So he's had what? A year and a half. Year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half, almost going on 2. A year and 6 months basically. So
that's a short period of time, and he's got them to a final. I don't think Mourinho was ever the right choice for Spurs, right? Ever. And I've said that from day one, and I do think Mourinho is poison, but I don't think I agree with any of how they've gone about this. But it kind of moves us into the Super League, I guess. So let me say, you know, it's been everywhere today, all over the press. I think Gary Neville personally has handled this spot on. I must say, he's been absolutely 100% correct with everything he said so far on it. Feel what you want about Gary Neville, but he's right. It is purely about greed. There was no consultation to fans or managers. Klopp today, pre-match interview, went against it and said, no, like I said in 2019, I don't agree with it. No one wants to see Liverpool play Real Madrid, 10 times in 10 years. It takes away from spirit of competition. Klopp has already said no to it. Shows that, and then he comes on stage and says, well, I only found out yesterday when everyone else found out. So what it's shown to me, and I'm sure it has shown to the rest of the world, is that these 6 clubs, the rich billionaires, have just sat down in a room or got on a Skype call and just been like, right, we can make some more money if we break away and do this. Apparently, just by saying yes to being in this league, they get £500 million, £500 million, just for saying yes. So these 6 guys have obviously called each other and just been like, Do you want to make a quick £500 million easily? Just say yes to this, knowing that I don't think they'll ever go through with it. There's too much backlash. The FA have said no. The Premier have said no. Champions League, everyone talking about fines and players can't play for their national teams and they can't play in the Premier anymore. The amount of backlash it will cause, it's never going to go through in a million years. But
what makes you so confident?
Because I think if you say you can't play in your home league anymore, which is 38 games a year, it's a lot of revenue coming into your business. If you're saying you can't play for your national team anymore, no club realistically is going to accept all of those sanctions, are they? They can't. They cannot afford to be. All it will be charity matches and the Super League. That's all you have. What's the point?
I really think Prem and UEFA and FIFA are going to exclude all these players from. They don't have the backbone. They don't have the backbone.
Well, the government are talking about getting involved in this now. Even Boris Johnson's talking about it.
It's a private enterprise. They can't get involved.
Of course they can. They can. Of course they can get involved. They can say what they're doing is it's like you have commissioners' offices in every industry basically to make sure that no market can be monopolized by a few people, right?
Like the CMA, for example.
Like the CMA, exactly that. Like the CMA. So not one market can be monopolized by a couple of clubs, and that's what they're doing. They're monopolizing the business.
A merger or anything like that, it is a breakaway league. I don't think
it's putting at all the other markets at risk by this being done. So what they're doing is, if you think of it that way, the CMA of the Premier League of football will have to get involved in this because they are basically just taking a whole revenue stream and taking it away from everyone else.
The only thing they can do is kick them out of the Premier League, kick them out of the Champions League and the Europa, kick them out of the players out of the Euros, kick the players out of the World Cup, FIFA. That is the maximum they can do. They can do all that, but Florentino Perez is out here saying, you know what we'll do? We'll set up our own national tournament from players within our Super League. I don't know what it's going to be, 5-a-side. Well, I don't know what his intentions are. But he's saying, oh, then we'll just focus on our own league. They literally don't care. They don't care. I think it's going.
You think it's going ahead?
100,000,000%. They've been planning this behind the scenes for a long, long time, and
they have been planning it for years. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and the pandemic has basically accelerated it, where they've said, okay, now we need to kind of get onto it. They're being financed by JP Morgan. Billions are being pumped into it. They're going to take the team that finishes bottom of this so-called Super League is going to make more money than the team that wins the Premier League and the Champions League combined. That's how crazy the figures we're talking about, and the winners are onto something else ridiculous.
They are.
Yeah. So there's no way they're going to be allowed to take that money and then invest in their squads and go out and buy these players and then sneak back into the Prem on a Saturday. Like, oh, hey guys,
that's why I don't think it will go through. But we've got some calls already. I think people want to jump on this topic as well. I imagine so. We'll see, but we can jump back to this topic afterwards. We've got Hitoshi, who has been a caller before, so we'll start with Hitoshi.
Long-time listener, long-time caller.
Hi Hitoshi, nice to have you back on the calling segment. I hope you've been keeping well.
Legacy fans.
Hello. So what's your question for us today?
Well, it's on that basis, I guess, and I don't know if you've kind of covered this already, really, but how do you feel as fans today? Are you considering giving up your fandom?
100%. Yeah, I was saying to Kunal via text when all this broke. If they do go ahead with it, I mean, I think they will, but I'm going to hold off for now. If it does come to fruition and they do go ahead with it and they end up leaving the Prem and Arsenal are in this super thing, I will officially retire. I will call it a day. I will not watch a minute of this Super League. I will not put a penny in merchandise. I will not go to any games. I won't even talk about it. I will just watch what's left of the Prem, Serie A, Bundesliga, whatever. I'm not contributing a single second to this, and it will be a sad day. But yeah, I will definitely call it a day.
I think for me, yes, I think I'd probably stop supporting Liverpool in all honesty with you. And you both know how much of a diehard fan I am. I think Liverpool being the People's Club and then going away and doing breakaway league and taking away from all competition stops us being the People's Club instantly in a heartbeat. I think even the letter of intent slowly put a bit of a black mark over our name. And it was a really, really sad day for me that we were even willing to join this. It's pathetic. I don't think it'll go through. Like I said to Ahmed on the call, I don't think it's going to go through at all. I think it's just a ploy by these big clubs to earn a bit more Champions League money going forwards. And I think they want to steer away from things like the Europa Conference League. They would rather just one Europa competition and get more money for being in that. So I think it's just a really, really manipulative ploy from big clubs to earn more money.
So as a follow-up to that, so who have you got your eye on to support if it does go ahead?
Oh, nobody. I'll be a widower. I'll just be one of those like casual fans. You know, I'll wear every time there's a football match on. I'll wear like a black armband. Support the team that I hate the least.
I was born in Leicester, so who knows? Maybe Leicester. I now live in Palace, so maybe Palace. We'll see. We'll see. Well, one of my local squads, basically.
Well, you've got options. I'm North London. What am I going to do?
Yeah,
Barnet,
you have Marsh. Anyway, Toshi. No to those. But thank you very much for your call, Toshi. Hopefully that answers your questions. We've got a couple of other calls coming. So, yeah. I'm gonna kick you out now. Thank you very much for the question. Join us. Speak soon.
Thanks,
Bye.
Josh. Bye.
All right. So next call is we have Klopp likes it hot 69.
Best username ever.
Hello, Klopp likes it hot 69.
All right, lads.
All right. How you doing?
I'm just distraught.
Yeah.
I've been with this club through thick and thin. UEFA Cup 2001. I was there. Champions League, 3-0 down in Istanbul. We only went and fucking won it. I wore a Suarez t-shirt, possibly a bad choice at the time. I've seen Istanbul when Palace got the 3-3, the slip, the Champions League win a couple of years ago. But today I have no club. And I can't tell if it's the tears in my eyes or Ahmed's blurry camera. But everything's terrible.
Yeah, it's a sad day for football.
Listen,
Yeah.
who do you lads think I should support now? Like, end of the day, you know, I'm done with Liverpool. Both of you lads must know your clubs stand for absolutely nothing. Who do we turn to now? Everton?
I wouldn't go to Everton just now. I'm sure you can support Formby FC. They're not too far from you.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know anyone. I literally don't know anyone who's saying that they support this, they like this, they're going to attend games. Just think of the logistics, right? How much do you reckon tickets are going to cost for this Super League? What about away days? You're going to go to Madrid one day. You're going to go to Turin the next week. Who's going to afford to go? Be empty stadiums. Like, I mean, it is now, but it's going to be even worse. It's going to be really depressing, expensive. Who wants to play? Klopp had a great point. Why would you want to play Madrid every other week or whatever, or Juventus? Or it loses the prestige. It loses the glamour of it. Like I said, if this does go ahead, I'm officially going to retire, and I'm not going to support anyone. I'm just going to watch football from afar. You know, I'm just going to end up being a neutral.
So, Klopp likes your heart. Is that going to be you're going to follow the same path there? You're going to stop watching football completely?
Yeah, look, I agree. I keep watching the game, right? I love football, but at the end of the day, like Ahmed says, I'll watch it as a neutral. You know, at the end of the day, if Liverpool are on, I'd like to see them win, but the passion's gone, and that's it. It's been taken.
You know what it feels like? It feels like an ex-girlfriend who's found someone else new, but then you still kind of feel something for her. Does that make sense? But then, but you know, eventually you have to let go, right? And you have to, you know, and eventually it will go, but it's hard for the first year or two, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll make you right, pal. Cheers for taking the call, lads.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll speak soon. Take care. We've got another caller on. We've got Nana.
Woo!
Always nice to have Nana back.
The South London party.
Nana once a guest on the show, a common caller on our show, the top guy. He's still connecting to the audio now.
That's right.
So hopefully he'll be with us soon. But I think everyone's made a lot of strong points about the Super League so far. And it's interesting that really everybody's just walking away from football because of this. This is how much of an impact this one decision has had. That people are willing to leave the sports they love.
Yeah. Like I've never seen like football fans united like this on any subject ever. I'm talking about even VAR, right? There are some people that actually like VAR. This is something that has universally kind of turned fans away.
That's true. Nana, you with us?
I'm here, sir.
Hello. Nice to have you back on.
Yeah, as always. It's
It's
been a bit of a crazy weekend.
Yeah, it really has. What's your question for us today?
My question is of the arch enemy because I hate them so much, and I'm happy. But Mourinho, why did everyone see it apart from Spurs and Levy? As in, like, everyone knew it was going to end like this. 100%.
Yeah,
we've often talked about this, right? What this man does, right? And it's not new. He's been doing this. He did this at Porto. He did this at Chelsea. He did it at Inter.
Man United, everywhere.
Madrid was the worst example of his in, and he's like sulfuric acid, right? If you want to get rid of
he won there, but like at Madrid he won. At Inter he won. At Chelsea he won.
He did. Even at Man United, he won stuff. He's won everywhere. But he would have been able to walk away. He had a cup final on Sunday. Not saying he would have won that, but if he won that, I think he would have lost it. But you never know with Mourinho. He is a serial winner. And I could see him somehow nicking a result there.
Mourinho hasn't been a serial winner since... When was it? I mean...
his teams now... But his teams are like... They're so boring to watch. They're like... Me personally, I think football has outgrown him. In terms of like he's become very archaic, and football. But to me, that isn't that crazy that someone like Mourinho, you can say, run past him.
The game's left him behind. The game has absolutely left him behind, and the fact that Levy thought, let me sign him on a 3-year contract with no break clause. Yeah, that's the right thing for Spurs. That's crazy. I mean, Spurs actually have a decent attacking squad. They have Kane, they have Son, they have Bale in that team. They have Ndombele, who I really, really rate.
Lamella, Mora, they have got a very attacking squad.
Instead of utilising that, it's just he's turned their football into like I don't know if Arteta's been taking lessons from him or the other way around, but
but again. Levy's a smart guy. Like out of all managers, out of all chairmen, I'm surprised he did it.
Yeah,
I think Mourinho still walks around with an air, and really he can still claim to guarantee you success, because even in his last job, Man United, before the Spurs job,
he won at Man United, 1 Europa League and 1 League Cup.
Yeah, in 3 years. So he won 2 trophies. So I'm not saying he wins everything, but he still wins trophies. Spurs are a club that have not won anything for 12 years? The last thing they won was League Cup, 2007 or 2008, wasn't it? So it's been a good 12, 13 years since they've won anything. Mourinho has won stuff recently. Can say, I'm a winner. I'm sure if Mourinho went into a job interview, he'd be pretty good in the job interview. And although you talk about the poison, when you're meeting the manager on the day and he's got a trophy cabinet that's massive, it's hard to turn down.
Mourinho's next job is going to be at Subway. Mark my words. He's going to come in as like an assistant manager.
I think his next job is Portugal. He can only do
Portugal, yeah.
Yeah, he'll do international. Then once that's done, I think he'll be forgotten about and be able to do some smaller jobs in a different. Like he could go back to Italy. I think could do like a Naples job. I think he could go to Napoli.
Yeah, but no one, but no Mourinho. He'll be the next Juve manager next week.
He's
Yeah.
like, do you know what he's like? Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. They just get like the best agents in the world, right?
But he's a Bayern scoring goals.
He went from Stoke to PSG to banging goals for Bayern.
See, Choupo-Moting, I think, has got a bad rep because he's done nothing wrong. He went to Stoke because they offered him more money. That's it.
Well, he got relegated to Stoke, and then some of you.
Yeah, but like, if someone offers you £100 a week, no matter if it's in Stoke, I'm going to Stoke.
I'd go to FC Damascus if someone's offering me. I don't care. I'll be and a bib, like it doesn't matter to me. So I can see where he's coming from, but yeah, I mean, I think Mourinho tends to have a good agent. Is it Raiola? No, it's not Raiola,
He's got
No, isn't it the Wolves?
He's got the same guy as Haaland, hasn't he? Haaland and Pogba and Pogba. Yeah,
so he'll get him a decent job somewhere, even though he wouldn't deserve it.
Yeah. Well, that's my question. It's just Mourinho. How? Go on, sorry, can I?
No, I was just going to say, hopefully that's answered your question, Alan. But if you got one more, please go for it.
Super League. How and why? Well, we know why, it's the money.
Yeah.
But how have they got this so wrong? In terms of
because
it's done. Go on.
It's because the billionaires that control the English clubs, literally, they don't see it as a sport. I promise you, they see it.
I agree. It's just pure business.
It is a pure business to them. It's an investment opportunity. They don't understand the game.
Absolutely.
They don't want to understand it. They don't care about it.
Yeah, but it sounds like they haven't even consulted the players or the managers.
They haven't. It's just six rich people in a room or on a Skype call that have just been like, "Hey, do you want to make $500 million and we don't have to do anything?" Yeah, sure.
I'll give
thing.
an example.
Just create another league and go away somewhere, and they all just jump for it.
Like
yeah, go on.
I was going to say, like, to give you an example, like our companies, right? When they've acquired another company or made like a business strategy decision, have they consulted us or have they just told us via email, we bought X, Y, and Z? It's very similar to that.
No, but you're not the commodity that people pay to see. Sorry, Alvin, yes. I know you're special.
I think my clients would disagree with you there, Nana. But yeah, I mean,
because I mean, the thing gets to me is that if FIFA are saying some players can't play in the World Cup, how did you not consult the players before you put this out?
That's exactly. I just don't think they care.
They don't see the players like that. To them, they're part of the business. They're an asset, whatever. Sit there, shut up, do your work, and we make the business decisions. They literally don't care. Nana, if this does go ahead, are you gonna hand in your badge? Are you gonna call it a day like me?
What, the Super League?
Yeah.
If it goes ahead, I'm gonna become a Leicester fan. Fucking love Brendan Rodgers. Whoop, whoop.
That is the one thing I'm getting. Everybody's going to walk away from
absolutely.
Everybody's going to walk.
That's right.
Football's dying, but that'll be football dead after that.
Yeah, that is the official death of football. So if that does happen, whatever date that happens, that's the official death of football.
Yeah.
I agree with
like I say, at the moment, I'll support them as if it isn't going ahead, but once it becomes official and they kick off, then that's it for me. I'm done. Oh, by the way, also as well, just one last thing. According to leaks, I think Toshi mentioned it. Fans like us, we're referred to as legacy fans. Yeah, exactly. I believe that legacy fans. So what they're after is they're after. I think Nev mentioned it. Gary Neville mentioned on Monday Night Football, which was brilliant, by the way. If you get a chance to watch it over. So basically what he said was what they're looking for is to break away from the whole Sky BT kind of where they bid for it. What they want to do is take their broadcasting rights in-house and have a streaming service, right? So you'll pay, I don't know, £10 a month for all your team's games, whatnot, and that will open up all kinds of huge markets across Asia and Africa and wherever. You would make 10 times more than they would with this. So I don't see why they can't do that now already, using these existing frameworks. I don't need to see why they need to break away to do that, but it is what it is.
Hopefully that's answered your question, Anna.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
It was lovely to have you back on, and hopefully we'll see you next time as well for we have another calling.
You let me know. All right.
Good to see you, sir.
See you. Bye.
Okay.
Right, we've got one more caller, Clockend Clive, who we've had once before as a guest on the show. So, hello, Clockend.
There won't be a clock end soon. So, just Clive maybe.
Hello,
What day, eh?
What's a day?
Well, I never listen. I have to have my say, Ahmed. I know we're probably on the same page on this one, mate. But you know, if I don't call in, you know, I feel like I'm not getting off my chest. I mean, listen, I don't mind it when we sign Ozil, Sanchez, Oba, even Pepe, right? I don't mind the corporate boxes, the giant green dinosaur, shareholder dividends, the Emirates Stadium. But we're in a Super League. We're barely good enough for the Europa League, mate. Scoring 97-minute equalisers against Fulham. Club is soulless. And I tell you what, the intergalactic Super Derby against Spurs. I mean, please. They've been less successful than Portsmouth over the last 30 years. It's actually laughable, Ahmed. Do you know what I mean? What are either of these clubs doing in a Super League?
I tell you what, Clive, there are thousands of recognised languages in the world, and tonight you have chosen to speak facts. So I salute you on that, sir. Couldn't agree with you more. That stat about Portsmouth being more successful than Spurs, completely forgot about that. That is true. If Spurs are there, bring Pompey in, I say. We scraped an equaliser against a relegation-threatened Fulham in the 97th minute and celebrating as if, oh yeah, instead of grabbing the ball and going back to the halfway line the centre circle, try to get the winner. We are going to get absolutely pumped in that league. We'll finish second to bottom every year. We'll finish above Spurs, but we've already seen what Bayern and Barca and all these teams do to us when we win the Champions League all that time with a much better squad. What do you think is going to happen now? What do you think? We're just going to lose week in, week out. What is the point of that? It just makes no... I mean, if we're talking purely from a sporting angle, who wants to watch a team get pumped every week? We're in big trouble. If there are any Arsenal fans left who are thinking, well, maybe I'll give it a try and watch it. Yeah, go watch it. See if you're not depressed for the next 6 months.
Yeah, I mate, you're right, mate. I guess, well, if Portsmouth are in the Super League, we'd have that geezer with a bell, wouldn't we, in the stands?
I'll tell you what I think about. Kick them up.
All right, cheers, lads. Listen, love the show. Keep behaving yourselves and stay lucky, all right?
Thank you, Clive. Speak to you soon.
See you later, lads.
See you
soon. Mate. Bye.
I think that's the end of our call-ins for this week's episode. I think everyone had the same consensus with the Super League. I think it was clear to see nobody wants it. It is the end of football. So who knows? I think if that does come into place, we'll probably call this podcast a day as well, because we won't.
I was thinking.
It's real sad. It's really sad because we won't have anything. Neither of us will have any passion for the game anymore.
Of course, I've already like I say, even the Liverpool Leeds game today. Before that, I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah, same.
I was watching it today, and I just, like I said, I lost all kind of interest or passion in it because I know it's not going to amount to anything. It doesn't mean anything. No. And yeah, you're right. This goes ahead. I think we're going to have to call this podcast a day. We're going to have to call being fans. We're going to have to call that a day. Supporting a team, and all the excitement that entails. Can you imagine, no more last-minute winners? And
well, think about the last-minute winners will be there, but there's been no passion behind it because it doesn't really matter anymore. It just would mean nothing.
We'll just watch it from afar, thinking, "Oh yeah, I know. I'm vaguely familiar with those guys. I used to follow them. Now I'm just going to be like, well, meh, So I think it's a shame. I think as fans, our stake in the game has been taken away, and purely so billionaires could have a little bit extra on top of their thing. And for me, it's a big reflection of the way society is right now already.
I agree.
And if we're looking at the pandemic, things are already incredibly imbalanced and just got incredibly worse.
Absolutely. And now these 1% are so greedy that the little that we have already with this sports and competition, they want to take that too.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, football, if I'm being real with you, football, and for me and a lot of people, really kind of got me through the whole kind of lockdown thing, you know, because it was gone for a while. And when it came back, it was a big thing. Do you know why? Because we can't go anywhere. We weren't even allowed to leave our houses, really. And it was something to look forward to. It's something to hang your hat on. It's something to discuss. And it made you look forward to the week or the weekend or whatever. Now we don't have that. So
I agree. Well, let's look at some predictions for. There's a lot of football on this week, right? So obviously, because there's a few rearranged games because of the FA Cup. So there's a good up until the next podcast we record. There are a lot of games for us to tuck into, which is fantastic. And you know, by that point as well, we'll probably have some more insight, and hopefully there's some more traction against the Super League, and it doesn't come into fruition, and we start to get a bit more passion back for the game. And hopefully, because there will be a period now where there's going to be a bit of just floating around, feeling nothing for football because they started to do this, which is a shame. But
now already,
exactly.
Like I said, I'm not going to fully check out until they literally kick off that first game, and
then it's over. Yeah. So, first game tomorrow, Chelsea-Brighton. I'm going to say 2-0 Chelsea.
I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spurs-Southampton.
Oh.
Southampton got knocked out of the FA Cup recently. Spurs have been on average form.
They've not looked good. Either of them haven't looked good.
No.
Kane is out injured. I want to go 0-0.
Ooh, I'm going to say 1-0 Spurs.
Okay.
Villa City is the next one. I think City will take that 2-1.
Yeah, City should bounce back. I'm going to go 3-1 City.
Okay. Leicester West Brom is the next one.
Oh, okay.
Which is a trickier one to call than you think, because West Brom.
Go on.
West Brom are putting out surprising results all of a sudden.
West Brom will win this 2-1.
Oh, I can see that. I can really see it. But I'm going to say a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
Arsenal-Everton.
Arsenal-Everton. Wow, jeez. This is so hard to call. We're at home, right, Emirates?
You are at home, yeah. You're at the Emirates, yeah.
I'm going to say 1-1.
I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal, because that's exactly the type of game you win now. And then you go and play West Brom the week after and lose or something. So I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal. Liverpool-Newcastle.
You're at home, right?
Yeah. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 1-1. I think your home form has been a bit dodgy and Newcastle on the up.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I say 1-1.
And next one's West Ham-Chelsea. I think 2-1 Chelsea.
Huge game
for the top four. Absolutely massive, actually.
Huge game. You know what? I'm going to stick my neck out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-2 West Ham.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to go that game. Lingard is going to score, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. That's why I think it'll be 2-1 Chelsea. I think Lingard, Kai Havertz, and I think Timo Werner might get one.
I hope so. He's due a goal.
He is, yeah. Sheffield United, Brighton, 2-0 Brighton.
1-0 Brighton.
Okay. Wolves, Burnley, Wolves at home, but 1-1.
I'm going to go another 0.
No? Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Leeds, Man United.
Oh, that's a huge game. Leeds, man. Oh. I'm going to go 2-2.
I'm going to go
Desmond.
3-1 United.
3-1. Okay.
3-1
wow.
United.
Big prediction. Okay.
Villa, West Brom. Villa at home.
West Midlands derby. Villa at home. I think it's going to be squeaky bum time for Burnley and Brighton. I'm going to say, I think that is going to be 1-1. I think West Brom will snatch a point.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to say 1-0 Villa.
1-0 Villa.
And the last one is Leicester Palace. Leicester at home. I'm going to say 3-0 Leicester. Easy win.
Oh, I think we're close now. I think 2-1 Leicester, because I think they'll have an eye on the FA Cup final.
Okay. Well, that's the end of episode 8, Deadball Specialists, Super League of Breed. I think The big standout thing is that everyone feels the same about the stupid Super League. So let's hope it never comes into fruition and it's all just a bit of nonsense talk. That's all we can ever hope for. We will join you next week. We'll be looking at another interesting question, I think, next week. We may have some call-ins or a guest. We'll see. We'll surprise you. But there'll be a lot of games to get through. I'm looking forward to it. And thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.